Hello everyone, my name is Christy Lee, which I'm sure you can imagine when you Google that name. Many people show up and not one of them is me. When you Google though my given name, my maiden name, which was Kristen Quell, still some other individuals come up first, but when I was in my first profession as an exercise physiologist, I did a research study which was published, and so that does come up when you Google my maiden name. I grew up in Clinton Township, Michigan, which is a suburb of Detroit. So you can see on the map here, if I zoom out a little bit. So there's Clinton Township, Michigan, and I graduated from Chippewa Valley High School, which I still live quite close to today. It's a pretty big high school. At that time, there was only the one high school. I think I graduated with about 600 or 700 students. Since then, they've split into two different high schools within the district. When I graduated from Chippewa Valley, I did get my undergraduate degree from Central Michigan and attended at the Mount Pleasant campus. Pardon me. I got my degree in exercise science, exercise physiology, and my minor was in nutrition. So I am an alumni of Central Michigan University, and they have a very good exercise science and health fitness program, which is why I chose to go there for my undergraduate degree. After I finished up at Central Michigan, I was fortunate to get a job at William Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak, Michigan, which is a pretty well-known hospital in this area. And I worked in cardiac rehab and stress testing. So I worked with patients who've had heart attacks, heart surgeries, diabetes, things of that nature, teaching them how to exercise and manage their disease. And then I also did cardiac stress testing, so placing patients like hooked up to an EKG on a treadmill and monitoring them throughout the test. I worked there for 10 years, and during that time I did get married to my husband Eric. He works at Ford as a quality engineer, and he has a unique hobby. He races stock cars, and last summer he had a really good season and won quite a few times. This is him and his dad. He won in August and in July of last summer. We are married and we have 3 children. During the 10 years of working at Beaumont and getting married and having kids, I did go back to school at Oakland University in Rochester, Michigan, and went through their secondary education program to get my teaching certificate. And I have endorsements in biology and chemistry, and then I later went back and added an integrated science endorsement. My first job after finishing up my education training was at a middle school, Avondale Middle School, which is in Rochester, Michigan. I taught 8th grade earth science there part-time. Unfortunately, I got laid off after my first year, and so I had to start applying for jobs again, and was fortunate enough to be hired in the Grosse Pointe School District. Grosse Pointe, it's a pretty large district, but all the buildings are pretty close, so it's common as a new teacher to travel between buildings. So my first year, I taught 6th grade earth science at one of the middle schools, Pierce Middle School, and the rest of my day I spent at Grosse Pointe South High School, also teaching earth science. So I would travel between the two buildings each day. The following year, unfortunately, I still had to travel. This time I was at South teaching microbiology and chemistry, and then I would travel to the other high school, Grosse Pointe North High School, and was teaching a few sections of earth science. My third year, thankfully, I was able to get a full-time position at Grosse Pointe North, and that's my home today as well. I teach in the science department. This year I teach chemistry and biology with some really great other faculty. At Grosse Pointe North, I have become part of a new organization called Link Crew, and I was one of the teachers that started it at our school. It's a mentoring program where we link student leaders, juniors and seniors, with the incoming freshmen to help them adjust to going to high school, and so that they can be successful socially and academically. As I've been teaching for the past couple years, as all of us have, decided to go back for my master's degree, and through Central Michigan, since I had such a good experience the first time around. And I'm happy to say that hopefully only have 3 more classes left to finish my master's coursework. When I do have time to myself, I like spending time with my husband and my 3 kids: Avery, who's 7, Braden is 5, and Shelby is 2. I also try to run when I have a chance. 2 summers ago, I completed my first half marathon, which is called the Brooksea Way and takes place in Rochester, Michigan. Last summer, I wasn't able to compete due to an injury, but this year I am planning on training. I have 2 sisters, and we're planning on training for the Detroit Half Marathon, which takes place in October of this year. So looking forward to a successful experience in this class. Thanks.